Welcome to the R&B Only show. Please note that the opinions expressed here belong solely to the hosts and guests, not to Colors Worldwide Inc., our affiliates, or sponsors. The content is provided as is for entertainment and information purposes only, without any guarantees of accuracy or completeness. Colors Worldwide Inc. is not liable for any errors or omissions, nor does mentioning products or services imply endorsement. This disclaimer is subject to change, and we encourage our audience to stay updated.
We have the incredibly talented singer, songwriter, Grammy Award-winning artist, Eric Bellinger. Yeah.
Thank you.
How did it feel going from songwriter to now performing?
Man, you know, I had to learn who Eric Bellinger was, the artist.
How do you balance the demands of your career with personal family time?
Making the moments count instead of counting the moments.
Man. Dad vibes, man.
Dad vibes is it, bro.
R&B Only. We're back at it again with yet another episode of the R&B Only show. I'm your girl, Jovy E. And this time, not only are we joined by my boss, JABARI, he over there, but we have the incredibly talented singer, songwriter, Grammy Award-winning artist, Eric Bellinger. Yeah.
Thank you. Put some respect on it.
Period.
Yeah, that's right. Please do, man. How's it going,
Appreciate
bro?
it. Good.
Man.
Good to see you.
Man, absolutely, man.
Yes.
Eric Bellinger has been a supporter of the brand and been working with us for years. And, you know, it's just like once I saw your name come through in the email, I was like, okay, yeah, I got to sit in on that one, too. That's my dog. That's my dog. Yeah.
But we're so glad that you made time to stop by. You've been everywhere lately, here, there, everywhere.
Outside.
What's new with you? What's been going on?
Man, new music, new album, new tour, always keeping the routine in place. You know what I mean? So I got, you know, top of the year. This is like the past 5 years we went out on tour into January. So, you know, it's something to look forward to, not only for the people, but for me too. You know what I mean? And it's accompanied by new music. I did some Afro R&B fusion.
Okay.
You were out in South Africa,
on my next project. Yeah, I did it in South Africa.
Yeah.
And did a writing camp out there. So, man, all the production, all the songwriting, everything was taking place in Cape Town, South Africa.
Okay, I want to start there, man, because like why did you even choose to go there and have that sound influence your music now?
So when I got off tour the last time, instead of going home, I was like, yo, let's go to Africa. And, you know, I didn't even get a break. I just released and refreshed and rejuvenated out there. And of course there was a studio, you know, available. And, you know, my boy V Script was like, yo, I got you. I already know everybody who to hit, and we're gonna make magic, trust me. And here we are now with 2 albums. It's gonna be a double project. Wow. It'll all make sense later, and then it all makes sense. And I'm just excited to have a team of people around. You know what I mean? Over the years, I've realized that that's the most important, to have a brotherhood, you know, sisterhood, whatever it may be, but just a village. You know what I mean? And that's what keeps it fun.
Okay, Jovy, I'm gonna let you cook in a second, but I have like some serious questions, because like you have been the pioneer of independence in R&B music, and I don't think you get enough credit for that. You know what I mean? But like, talk about being independent and independent for as long as you have. It's like how has being an independent artist changed over the last few years for you?
So it shifted, you know, in the beginning when I was first releasing Born to Sing Volume 1, Volume 2, Volume 3, The Rebirth. It wasn't necessarily the cool thing to do. You know, it was actually frowned upon by a lot of the producers and a lot of people you work with, because they look at it like the major labels, how I'm going to get my bag. Like, if I get this song to you, you know what I mean, as an independent artist, you know what I mean? But as they realized and the times have shifted, now that just means that we have a lot more ownership, we have a lot more say, and when the song actually does start to make money, rather than still being unrecouped, it's already in the green. You know, so I think it was something that I didn't know what was gonna happen, like with the streaming, and slowly things were taken away, and the independent artist has now become the popular, to where the major artist is like, yo, screaming, I want my independence. You know, and for me, it's been Independence Day year round, so You know,
yeah. Every day's a holiday on this
every
side.
day is a firework.
And you're definitely one of those artists who can, and I think you said this, you can tour all year round.
Yeah.
How does that feel to have fans who will show up for you? Because it's one thing to make the music and put it out, but like people have to be invested in what you're saying and how you're saying it.
That's hard-earned money. You know, I don't take it lightly at all, because even me, we got bills. Everybody got bills. So for people to take their hard-earned money and, consistently show support, pull up to the events, the merch tables, supporting the music. Some people ain't just streaming. Some people is buying. Thank you if you buying the music, because that really make a big difference. So if you actually go to purchase on the iTunes store, I love you even more. But, I look at it like, as long as they gonna keep pouring into me, I'm pouring it right back in a way that is reinventive to myself, the same way Michael Jackson was always a different artist, different energy, different chapter. Every album, I try to give people something totally different. So when you come to this tour, it's not going to be the same tour, So not only are we here to sing the songs together, but I'm also going to present them in a new way so that you can feel like it's your first time hearing them and singing them.
That's dope, man.
Singing them with your whole chest, though, because like I said, that mic be on, okay? If you haven't gotten a chance to see this man live, do that quick, fast, and in a hurry for real, because the vocals are top-notch.
Let's go. Thank you.
Top-notch, for sure. But not only are the vocals doing what they do, but that pen game is crazy.
It's got to go. The pen has to dance.
The pen game goes crazy, not only for yourself, but for other people.
Yeah.
How did it feel going from songwriter to now performing your own joints? What was that transition like?
Man, I had to learn who Eric Bellinger was, the artist, as opposed to Eric Bellinger, the, aspiring musician that likes every single song. I like all the songs, you know what I mean? But there's a such thing as an Eric Bellinger song as much as there's a Justin Bieber song, a Usher, a Chris Brown. Like, everybody has their sound, their brand, and I think when you tap into, who you are, it's a lot easier to identify and not be mad at, the success of a song that goes somewhere else. A lot of interviews is like, yo, what song did you wish you would have kept? It's like, nah, that song was for that artist, for that specific time, in his range and register. You know what I mean? So I look at it like, now that I've done a lot of time for myself, I've learned more about myself and, what I think the people want to hear from me, you know what I mean? So it makes it easier, like, okay, this is my target and this is who I am. And I always play within those borders without, going too crazy. Of course I can do like a rock song or, you know what I mean? But I like to feed my community because my community feeds me.
Eric, I one thing that shocked me when I saw you were actually on like the writing team for that Big Sean song. I think it was called Precision.
Yes,
right?
sir. Yes, sir.
And I was like, I know your pen is crazy and you're in R&B and you're well known in that world. But when I saw like you're in a rapper's studio session and it's like, what does it take to get into another genre, like what do you have to do as a writer to like put yourself in a rapper's shoes or a rock artist's shoes?
Man, so I truly look at it like the beat defines the genre. As a songwriter, I can write to a piano chord progression, classical. I could do a guitar. I could do a metronome. You know what I mean? But the song is going to remain the same. The story I'm telling, even the melodies, I'm going to try to freak the melodies in any type of beat. But if you have some heavy metal guitar, it's a rock song. You know what I mean? And if you have them 808 Atlanta style drums, it's like a hip hop urban song, But the music really defines the genre to me. So when I got in there on that song with Big Sean, I was shooting my shot like, I'm playing around, I wasn't even, we did another hook to it at first. And then I just was doing that, messing around. And my boy Joe was like, no, lay that. And then that's the one he wanted. I'm like, see, it's like, I don't know, it's a universal language.
Yeah, for sure, man. Speaking of like people who were just incredible in multiple genres and you know, writing, production, all that, man. We just lost yesterday, Quincy Jones, man.
Quincy,
How
man.
how did you feel about that? Like I woke up to that news this morning and
me
I
too.
like in the
Man.
bed, I read a New York Times article just about all his accolades. And you know, we come from music, so we think we know all that Quincy's done, but it's like after reading for 30 minutes, like what he's done since the 70s, you know, it's like, whoa.
It's crazy, from music to movies.
Yeah.
You know, to his own artistry, you know, and I definitely shed some tears for sure. Just this morning, I was just like, just taken aback, you know, because he's one of the guys that inspired me to be myself, be the most unique I possibly could. You know, anything that I looked at that he did, I always tapped into the ingredients. Like when you listen to the Michael Jackson songs that were the biggest songs of our time, it's like, why were they that big? Why were they that special? But it's so much ear candy and it's so much risk and there's so much reward. You know what I mean? Like the symphony is like, this is orchestra. If you listen to these songs and these chord progressions and
that ain't like synth though. That's just all real instrumentation.
This is instrumentation. So he was actually, you know, maybe it's not the producer where he's, you know, producing a track, but we're actually composing. You know what I mean? So, you know, big ups to the greatest. I would say the greatest that ever did it.
Yeah, what do you think, like, you know, what do you think his legacy, like, means to music?
Man, I would hope it raises the standard again, you know, and people now would do their homework that maybe aren't aware, because of course the music community is like, yo, we know Quincy Jones, but you know, unfortunately, our world is the type to dive in more when people pass on. So I would just hope that now they would say, what, who? Let me go look at it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you're unfamiliar, because the music and the technicalities and the modulations, like all of those things, they really matter to me, you know, and I know they matter to a lot of people that pay attention and they love, you know, a song transition or, you know, a bridge, you know, or an interlude or a vamp, and, you know, all of those things were Quincy Jones. You know, he was undefined, you know, and the formula I think that he always led with was love.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Rest in peace, Quincy, man.
Yes.
Yeah.
How do you think, you mentioned you're hoping that with his loss that like we raised the bar. What do you think raising the bar looks like?
Yeah.
That's a good question.
Yeah, I think it's paying attention to the things that got us here, you know, like Heart of a Woman, Summer Walker. You know what I'm saying? Like the music sounds good.
It does. It gives brandy.
You know, it's
in the
old
best
school.
way. Like,
yeah, the old school. And I think that's the songs that really go crazy. You know what I mean? Like when Money Long just released the last song that went 20 weeks in a row.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? With Jermaine Dupri and Brian Michael Cox. It's like, because they tapping into the traditional and the original standard of what music was. But it has become so microwave because it's so easy to just make a song. You know, you can really make a song. Like, we can make a song right now in 5 minutes. You know what I'm saying? But it's just like, it's something about when you truly take your time and, you know, intentionally craft, you know, a record.
Do you have some of those records where you know that, because I've seen you like take a freestyle that has gone viral, and then make it into a song.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, and I feel like you're one of those people who's like on the cusp of like what's happening online and how to incorporate that into music.
Yeah.
But do you have those other records that like, you know, you're like, I've been working on this for 6 months.
For sure.
And this has to come out in a certain way. It has to be presented in a certain way.
I have those songs like in the tuck.
Okay.
I do have like a project that's super, super R&B, like that. it has to be right. Like, I'm still working on it. You know what I mean? In the meantime, the projects that I've been putting out are maybe thoughts.
Okay.
Like this album is a thought in my head. This album is another thought, but this album is my brain. That album is kind of on hold. It's like, it's a few songs on there that are like, you know, people, I want you to cry. I want you to feel. I want you to, you know, emote. You know what I mean? So I think it just requires so much more energy, not only from me, but also every piece that's necessary to make that project go from
rollout.
Yeah,
all
the rollout, the you know, it's just certain things. If you really competing, you know, on that platform, and I feel like I'm in a space where I just be like doing this out of passion and love, you know, and of course I, you know, do all my due diligence to put the ducks in order, but there's just a such thing as truly trying to compete for that number one spot. That album, I'm waiting.
How much of being an artist nowadays is being a successful artist?
Yeah.
Is the music you're making versus all the other stuff?
Yeah.
The marketing, the rollout, the partnerships. Like what is the percentage you think that it takes of both?
Music,
to be successful now.
Music, I'm gonna give it, I was gonna say 20, but I'll still give it 30.
The music.
I'll give it 30. Okay. Yeah, I give the music 30. Yeah. Oh yeah, that's low. That's low for sure. But I was gonna say 20. I was gonna say even lower. But I'm like, all right, you do have to have a good song, but it don't gotta be the craziest. You really don't. You know, it's important. Your branding is low-key the most important.
And explain why.
Because your branding, if your branding is all the way on point, somebody else could be doing something and then they'll still think of you. You know what I mean? Like, my brand, I have branding in my melodies to where people will hear a melody and say, that sound like you. Of course it does.
Yeah. That's the point.
That's the whole point. So it's like, I'm very intricate. Like, everything is the branding, you know? Like,
it's easy.
It's easy. When you hear that, it's easy. It's easy. Like, man, easy call. Anytime, because I drove it in. Like, DJ Khaled is like one of the greatest, you know, with the branding too. It's like, when you look at him and he says something, it's like, let's go golfing. It's like, now we're all saying, let's go golfing, you know, or whatever it may be. But I think it's important as artists to know what our thing is. Like Frank Ocean with a red and white Tokyo bandana on his head when he first came out, or Bryson Tiller with a dad cap, or Ice Spice with the orange fro. It's like, we know you for these things.
Yeah.
So it's like, you need to know what those things are for you as an artist, and
make sure that thing has longevity too.
Yeah, and it's true. And it's true to you, because people now, it's like, we could tell if you just think that's a fire idea to get over on us. You know what I mean? Hey, Drake, they're not slow. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, we've elevated as you know, as a community and as a culture. So it's like, you're not really pulling the wool over nobody. So now you have the branding, which is super important. And after that, it's like the marketing. And some people have the marketing going crazy, but if your branding is not right, then it don't even matter, because we don't even know what to remember you for. You know what I mean? So it's like, okay, now the marketing has to be crazy, the branding has to be crazy, the music has to be crazy, the image has to be crazy. What do you look like? Do I want to look like you? Do I want to talk like you? Do I think you cool? Like, what's going on with your family? Who are you dating? That's cool. Okay, what have you done in the past? Like, you know, because we don't forget anything.
But I feel like to a certain level, like, there are a lot of like, I don't need to know everything about the artist that I enjoy.
You don't.
I like a little mystery.
Good.
And there are artists who like go deeper into that mysterious vibe that's still like Brent Faiyaz. We don't know nothing about that man, but every time he drop, and does that become part of their marketing? Is that mysterious vibe?
I would disagree. I don't think that you don't know.
He's
everything.
A branding genius.
I think he's putting a lot of his personality in the music. That's one.
The skits.
Yeah, right.
Them
all
skits
of that.
Is skitting.
Like you. And then,
whoa.
And then,
no, what was the album? It was some like, weird, dark Eminem Stan shit. Like, oh my God, are you okay, sir?
Right.
Like,
so like when you put it,
like,
the more you know, like Eric was saying, like the more you pull the wool off and you like reveal yourself in the music, I think the less you have to do on that personal side, like on social media, right?
Because I definitely mean you as an artist.
Yeah.
Knowing who you are as an artist and wearing that fully. Like, we know Glorilla, we know Sweetie, like, we know Bruno Mars, like, his hairstyle, his look, it's all there. You know what I mean? And I don't think it's by accident. I think it's so intentional. And that's why those artists are standing out.
Yeah, for sure.
So then for an artist like Brent, would his music versus marketing percentage change then? Because he's putting so much more of what we would see in someone's like marketing idea in the music. So do you think that would change in his, like if we're using him as an example, or even like a Frank Ocean, like they're not super...
It's like you got your Frank Oceans, who is so rare. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Like, even Kendrick, like, is one of those anomalies where he's like very reserved, but he just popped out crazy. You know what I mean?
Even like a Cleo Soul, like she just did an interview for the first time in eons, and we know that she's an artist herself, but she also does like Salt. But those are like such mysterious like entities that in my head, I feel like the music versus marketing, if we're still going that way, like the music percentage there's so much more weight there because that's where we're getting the like.
And everybody
touch
defines
points.
success differently.
Valid.
So it's like, she may be doing that and she may not be worried about no numbers. That's how I am. I'm not really worried about none of that. I'm just worried about my art being what I hear it to be as great. You know what I mean? Like, if it's good to me, that's cool, and I'm good with that. And I think she's good with that too. I think those are true artists, the people that's not tripping on that. We're just speaking on, the current status.
Yeah.
That's valid.
Yeah, I think I heard I think it was Ray Daniels say this about like artists now having so much more control over their image and their brand and their marketing. And he was like, he kind of took it back to Michael Jackson. He was like, could you imagine if Michael Jackson at his heyday was selling a glove? You know what I mean? Like, imagine if he was selling that, as merch. You know what I mean? Like, and he was ultimately saying that like artists, you create a world when you're an artist, and you're like inviting people into your world.
Yeah.
But it's really important now to know, like, you might be a gamer, right? And like you're a gamer, and that's what people sort of know you as, and then your music is something that is like secondary to that. You know what I mean? So it's just really about understanding like what elements of yourself that people can tap into. And I think even more importantly, it's just like if you can put that in the music and it can connect with people, that's second.
That's the cherry on top, because people like Kai Cenat, it's like even the comedians, like, they not dropping music, you know what I mean? But they're penetrating the culture because we're invested in them as people.
Yeah.
That's valid. So I like my people to be mysterious, but like I'm also nosy. So hey,
I love the mysterious vibe. Nosy. Back in the day, it was like the thing. You know what I mean? Like, we've just changed because it's like I'm so busy over here. It's like, why would I really give you that much time a day? It's like, I'm busy, bro. Like, my life is lifing over here.
Life is life.
Yeah, so it's like, for me to actually invest in you, you got to get me for real.
Yeah.
Whatever that means,
R&B Only Live is a show that will take you on a journey of R&B music from past, present, and future. We bring together the best of the genre with our all-female DJs, talented hosts, and electrifying energy all night long. Get tickets to the tour now at rnbonly.com/calendar and vibe with a room full of R&B lovers.
R&B!
Now you're not a singer-songwriter, all the things, but you're also a family man, for reals. How do you balance like the demands of your career with personal family time?
Making the moments count instead of counting the moments. I really be there present, like, ooh-wee. Like, I'm looking so deep in their eyes that I know that it's different when I come around. I'm staring into their pupils, into their soul when I'm talking to them. I'm hugging them tighter, you know what I mean? And I think when I'm gone, it's like missed, rather than not present.
That's love.
Yeah, man. Dad vibes, man.
Dad
You already
vibes is it, bro. I'm looking
Yes.
at his eyes.
Yes, man. I got a 1-year-old at home, so I already know. Like
yeah.
same type of situation.
Mm-hmm.
You have to make yourself missed, and the only way to do that is to be like extremely present when you're around.
Yes, that's it, man. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. You gotta do it. You gotta do it. The family thing, man. It keeps me going, and I think because I respect it, it respects me. You know, the same thing goes with my wife. You know, we going on 10 years of marriage, and you know, even if I may be away, say for example for a tour or something, never in that does what gets time trump what is my priority. Even when I'm away, that's my priority. Even when you're not here, you get all my time. You know what I'm saying? For real. Like, I live it. I breathe it.
Yeah. You recently said something too, man, that struck a lot of people. I think it was like you were saying, I forget what interview you did, but you were saying that like to be faithful has to be your choice.
Yeah, for you.
Yeah, not because you want to do it for the other person.
Yeah.
And a lot of people look at artists when you have this touring lifestyle, you're an R&B male singer, there's a lot of women fans. It's like people think that, oh, there's no way somebody like that could be faithful. But I loved what you said because it was that's the truth, man. Like,
it's part of me. It's who I am, you know. And for me, it's like if you doing a meet and greet or wherever it is, like, hey, nice to meet you. Like anything going beyond that is on you, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to actually make the effort.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it ain't nobody falling in your lap or nothing like that, you know? So, you know, it's easy for me because my choice, you know, is what I stand for and who I am. And it makes me feel, like, stronger. It makes me feel, you know, I don't know, more in my purpose. And, like, God is going to bless that. Like, he continues to bless it. So, you know, I really don't veer off the routine ever. Like, I love my routine. I love, you know, drop the boys off, boom, yoga, boom, you know, like that's what I want to do in the morning. Then I want to eat my little, you know, protein shake, acai bowl. Like, I really, really think that when you have that routine, your life starts to make a lot more sense. And instead of like, okay, what should I do next in life? It's like, yo, find what you love to do and stick with it.
Because cheating isn't a mistake. I don't know.
It's not a mistake.
It's not a mistake. You should don't just fall in your lap.
That's what
what? Hello?
Thank you for the cosign.
The heck? Like, no, we love that. We love a faithful black man.
Yes,
Shout out wifey and the kids.
Yeah.
Do what y'all do. Let's see. I feel like this was way earlier. You said that you feel like genres are in the beats.
Yeah.
And I feel like lately R&B, one of the things that I love about R&B in the new school realm is that there are so many different varieties of R&B. Like there's like the Afrobeats R&B. There's there's still like neo soul budding out. Where do you think you draw the line between like, or is there a line at all? Because pop is just popular music.
Yeah.
Where do you do or don't draw the line between R&B and pop music? I feel like that's been like a budding this or that for certain artists and stuff lately.
You could start with tempo, you know, like even if it's a 4 on the floor, which is known to be like pop, you know what I mean? Like doom, 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 doom. If you slowed it down, it's doom, doom, doom. So even with that example, it's like, yo, it ain't nothing but the BPM. You know what I'm saying? Because if you slow it down, like, you're going to be forced to sing different. You know what I mean? So, I don't know. Other than that, I would say the feeling of the sonics of the track. Because there's, like, a darker R&B. Like, for example, like, The Weeknd, I wouldn't say he's, like...
It's more alternative.
Yeah, it's more alternative. But he still has melodic... R&B innuendos, you know, but like an artist like Bruno Mars, he's always R&B. No matter what, it's still gonna feel like R&B, and I think that's a part of who they are as well. You know, even The Weeknd from the beginning, you know, it was a darker energy, so
That's my favorite, The Weeknd. House of Balloons.
Yep, exactly. That's the one I was thinking. I was picturing the album right now in my head.
Balloons. Oh, inject that. That's my favorite era of The Weeknd. But I know that like lately we had like SZA saying that she's only R&B and she's not pop because of the color of her skin kind of thing. But to me, SZA created that lane of R&B for herself. Like the beats don't give pop to me.
Yeah.
It's popular music for sure,
for sure.
but like pop in the sense of like Sabrina Carpenter or like it doesn't give that to me. Whereas like a Chloe, not this latest project, because I think this latest project is really R&B, but the project before gave pop to me.
Yeah.
And like you said, I think like for me, it is in the tempo and the production of the music.
Yeah.
More so
the production,
than
like, you know how the SOS album, it had a lot of different style beats, but they were still all R&B to me. You know what I mean? But
She's
they were just
singing
different variations. Yeah,
super
she's
upbeat.
Singing. Yeah.
Is it important for you to put a label on your music?
Nah, I look at it like, for sure, I'm an R&B artist. You know what I mean? That's why I stay in that. You know, even like being able to do the shooting my shot, like I ain't released a song like that ever. You know what I mean? Because I want to be known as the R&B guy. Yeah. You know what I mean?
That you are. You are.
That's why the best in R&B call you, man, when they need that. When they need that pen.
But I can do whatever y'all need for you for a small fee.
Yeah.
He said Shabuzi called me.
Yeah.
Shabuzi, man. Oh, we got the country vibes for sure.
He got that
I would love to hear you write something for Shabuzi.
Yes, man.
Sure.
I actually just did a trip to Nashville.
Yeah.
And it was my first time going to cook up from scratch with the musicians in that style of music. And man, I was just learning so much about
What'd you learn?
the guitar, for example. You can play the guitar with so many different style instruments. I mean, so many different, not even instruments, but like, you know how you have a pick?
Yeah,
You got the pick, but sometimes I seen somebody with like a little, you seen a little glass thing that they, it's just,
oh, wow, no.
it's so many different ways that people be playing the guitar. So that's like for starters. And then another thing is see how you can write a songs with as little words as possible, with as few words as possible. I'm like, what?
And it still be a vibe.
You know? So they taught me different exercises that I really carried on.
I think there's this blurring right now of, we just launched a new brand called Y'all Country, and we're trying to, you know, build the country version of what we do with R&B Only. And there's like, why there's an intersection between hip hop, country, and R&B right now, it's kind of like, there's a lot of artists that are using all three of those genres to like blend and make music currently. But I think all of those genres are rooted in storytelling.
Yes.
And, you know, like, the storytelling is just a little bit different for each one, right? Like, you know, R&B, the storytelling is rooted in love. Like, hip hop, a lot of the storytelling is rooted in like, you know, maybe like
lifestyle.
Lifestyle, making it from like nothing to something, the come up, a sort of like evolution of a person. And then country is just like, the storytelling is rooted in like your environment and what's around. You know what I mean? Like your truck.
Right.
Your
Simple.
beer,
Life.
life stuff. And I think that like each one of those things, that's why we're seeing this blend of all of these genres right now sort of come together.
Yeah, I love it. That's it. That's the storytelling. You nailed it with that, bro, because that's what people can connect to. So when they hear your first word, it's like, oh, wait, what do you say now? Any other day, I would play good, but I can't now because I want you. It's like songs ain't really like that no more, where it's like just the story. But when they are, they really do connect. You know, I got a condo in Manhattan. Yeah, what else?
You know
what I mean? So yeah, make sure y'all telling stories and, you know, giving us lines and lyrics to hold on to.
I will say, not R&B, very much a rap album, but Tyler's latest project, I think he said in an interview that he feels like he's being so bluntly honest with like what he's been going through, that's why he's wearing the mask when he performs it on stage.
And isn't it a mask of himself?
I don't think it's a mask.
I think it's a.
Is it?
Let's ask Hannah, the resident Tyler fan. Isn't it? Isn't it a mask of himself? It looks like. I think it is. Yeah.
But it's like
an ironic thing.
Okay, maybe, but like feels like I know that he said that, and if you listen to the music, like, it really is just him over some fire ass beats. Like that is, and those albums or those projects to me, like I'm wearing it out. Like I lived it. Like that was me. Those are always my favorite.
You can relate, yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
What do you think, like, for people who are new fans of yours or just being introduced to you, where's like the top 3 songs that they should start with you?
All right. Maybe you should go listen to Obsession. You know, so you can hear the R&B. GOAT, so you can hear the turn up. I like to turn up at the same time, but I like to also sing. And then another song, maybe, I don't know, New Oldie. Go listen to New Oldie. That's Eric Bellinger, Snoop Dogg, and Ursha, baby. Yep. That one, could take it back and hear the evolution of classic.
Yeah,
that's a solid 3 because you got.
I mean, the discography, man, is
left, right.
How do you even decide what to put in like a set list? You know,
that's the worst thing ever. Because no matter what, I get to the show, somebody gonna be mad. No matter what, every tour
he ain't play.
I'm like, yo, you think I can? So I had to just take it up, like, man, I had to just be like, yo, my bad. You know what I mean? In some shows, I'd be like, is there any songs y'all want to hear? But then it's just like, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
But man, it's a blessing. That's like a great problem to have. You know, like, man, what song should I do? But definitely at the end of every show, they like, yo, you didn't do my favorite song. Like, it's a victory.
Make everybody happy.
It's a victory.
Can't make everybody happy.
Yeah.
Hold on, I got. Speaking of your favorite song, you coming up with that, I think that's one of the best. Like, do you even call it a tag?
It's a tag. It's a tag. It's a tag.
But like, I mean, he's saying this gonna be your favorite song. Like, you're like putting it into existence.
Subconscious.
Yeah. Like, how did you even come up with that?
It's a manifestation. So I have a song called This That Song on my very first mixtape, and the song is basically for the ladies when they get home from work. You put it on, it's saying woosah and, you know, all of these relaxing things. So in the beginning, that's why I said this is going to be your favorite song, just because I knew in my mind, like, first project, this is the song that's going to make a woman feel good. And the tag actually just stuck because people would do it at the shows and they would sing it. And I'm like, oh, let me try that in another song. And then after that, it was like, it's the name of the label, it's the name of the company. And, you know, people was out there trying to say it.
That's a genius. That's genius,
fire.
like, name for everything. I love that.
Thank you, man. It's subliminal.
Yeah.
Who's an artist that you wish you could collaborate with? Someone either living or not living?
Kendrick Lamar.
Man, you guys both LA. I can't believe that hasn't happened yet.
Hasn't happened yet. Y-E-T.
Yeah.
We did a show together. We had a show together. I was just telling my son this flyer. He was like, wait, you did a show with Kendrick Lamar? I was like, yeah, it's K-Dot from City.
Yeah.
He was like, he looked at me different.
Yeah, right. It's just like that's
like,
I did it, bro.
Yeah.
I did it.
Yeah.
How old is Lil Man?
9 years old.
9. Oh, so he's hip.
He's tapped in.
How is it being like an LA artist? Do you think like the city, I'm sure it has formed your sense of artistry and stuff, because it's just so much always going on. There's so many people from here. How do you think that shaped you as a person and artist?
I think you have to really, really be like about the city, from the city, go crazy. Like, boom, I know my hat has to say it right now. You know, it's just something that we it's in our walk. You know what I mean? And not just in the talk. And for me, I think putting in that time over the years is what cemented it. You know, it's not just about saying I'm from here. You know, people have to have seen you at the basketball games. They have to have seen you, you know, at the events and, you know, the parties. There's a LA circle that's really like, you know, the top tier. We really from here and we'll point you out. You know what I mean? So if you're not a part of it, it's like you can't fake it. You know, it's just no way around it. You have to actually be rooted into the city, into the system, and into the culture of West Coast.
Yeah. West, as Tierra would say, we love you, girl.
Yes. Yes.
Love that. I'm only a year and some change in. I'm very much East Coast. I'm an East Coast.
What would you tell her? Like, what's like 3 things she needs to do being like a LA newbie?
Yeah. I say when you hear about an event, pull up. You know what I mean? You know, I think the support is felt more than people mention. You know what I mean? Especially now after the pandemic, LA been going through a tough time. You know?
Oh man, LA's been trying to bounce back, but it just ain't the same, bro.
That's what I'm saying. Like if you hear an event, it's like we can see you. It's like, oh, you pulled up. So pulled up. So you know that mean a lot, and I think that's one thing. But other than that, man, I think getting out to see the things that LA is known for and you know appreciate it is like, man, you gotta hit a beach. You got to see the vibes, you know, the sunset, the Malibu, like it's really something dreamy, you know. So I think that'll make you appreciate it more because the weather is like our thing.
Weather is a selling point for sure.
It's our thing, you know.
But the beaches are nice.
Don't go in the water though.
Yeah, I'm from Miami, so
I didn't say that.
Just go to the beach.
From Dade County, like the beaches are scenically pretty, but that water.
I ain't saying that about no water. Take your water, whether you Evian, Arrowhead, Designing, or Smart. And other than that, you know, maybe some fire views. You know, I think our mountaintop views is dope. I like to just drive around and find a new view. Like, okay, this is where I'm at, you know, for a little while until I find a new spot just from driving and be like, what's that over there? Let me make a right because I see an opening and I got some time. You know, so the views, I think the beaches. And man, we got some cool food spots. Try the hole in the walls. You know, they're there for a reason.
Yeah. This is my thing with LA, man. I think that we need, and I'm working on some stuff and, you know, trying to put some plays together, but I really think we need a quintessential R&B festival, you know? And I'll tell you, as a person that you've played on our festivals, you know, you've been to our shows, and the biggest problem that we have in the city, honestly, and please, like, Mayor Karen Bass' office, please, like, get at me for this. But it's like the venues and locations, man, it's really difficult. Like, we have a bunch of places for concerts and people to play, like, indoors. There's a bunch of that. And it's from, like, the small, you know, 100 to 200 cap all the way up to all the arenas that we got. But when it comes to like outdoor experiences and places where you can hold music festivals, it's like everything can't go into
Hollywood
Bowl. You know what I'm saying? Like everything can't just be
What's
there.
The other one? The
Greek.
Verizon? Oh, the Greek.
Yeah, the Greek is the only other, and that is only open for a certain period of time.
Yeah,
you know,
just
for the year.
Two.
And it's like I think LA just needs more infrastructure for the amount of like talent we have here from a music perspective.
And the weather, like you said.
And the weather is perfect.
Weather. Where's
you know what I mean? Like
venues?
there's no outdoor venues here.
All right, let's get that going.
Yeah, man.
Let's get that going.
We gotta figure it out.
I like that. Yeah, I like that. I'm looking at the wheel turn right there. That's where I'm gonna be when I come to tour. Everybody, make sure you pull up.
Pull up, wheel turn. Eric Bellinger. You got tour dates yet or anything?
Yep, tour dates just announced.
Okay. So let people know about the tour dates.
Yeah, man. The Around the World tour. I'm taking y'all on a journey, and you know, this last project, like I said, I did it in South Africa, so you know, we'll see the globe spinning as I did my music in Africa. And then when I went to Atlanta and I did, you know, the New Light, a Grammy nominated album, and it'll be, you know, reflective of that atmosphere. And then you come back to the West Coast and you get to see where I'm from and see why I am the way I am and why the music sounds the way that it sounds. So, you know, it'll be the Around the World experience, and then we're going to add the Around the World tour dates as well. So stay tuned.
Amazing, man. Amazing.
And he about to get in the shower and make it do what it do. So stay tuned for that singing in the shower episode.
You already know it's going to be crazy, man.
Yee. Thank
you.
Anything else?
Pleasure.
That's it for me, man. This is it. This is R&B only, you know, big Congrats to everything. Like you said, I
Appreciate
definitely have been just watching and supporting from the beginning, you know.
That's a fact.
And this is a community that y'all built for us, by us. So
Yeah.
much love to y'all. And you already know anything I could do, always an easy call away.
Nah, likewise, man. Like, whatever you need, man, we're going to do more. You know, we're going to help get as many people out to this tour as possible, man. And
let's go.
And let's go. Let's keep it going,
Appreciate
man.
it.
Eric Bellinger, you already know.
Sir.
Oh, yeah, I got to close this out. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm Jovy E. Of course, we got Eric Bellinger and our big boss, the biggest boss you've seen this far, JABARI. This was episode 38 of the R&B Only show. Make sure to get your tickets to the R&B Only live tour by going to rnbonly.com/calendar. Get them tickets.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Coming to a
we're
city
about to
near you.
announce big tour.
Tour coming soon.
Just
Huge.
confirmed 40 plus dates coming
my
up.
God. Not
We
the 40
outside.
piece.
Back
Yeah, 40
outside.
piece. I'm giving y'all two 20-piece nuggets. All right, let's go.
Love it. I love it. Let's
McDonald's
get it.
would never, but here we are.
McDonald's
See you
could
next
never.
time.
All right, peace.
R&B only.